issues of national security to attend to. Some kind of procrastination thing. A lot of people don't know, it's not in the book, I was diagnosed with attention deficit disorder. I apologize if I wander off for no reason. These are just some of the things I've learned a lot about myself. I was diagnosed also with narcissistic personality disorder. I really enjoy talking about me. I think I'm pretty great. Also, I have sociopathic personality disorder. Don't get me wrong, I love people. As long as those people love me. Turns out I also had a brain scan, and a lot of people don't know about this. I have the brain of a serial killer. Well, it's weird to find that out. Apparently, it comes down to brain structure. But apparently, I didn't have trauma that activated it in my youth. So apparently, I will not kill again. I said this in April 2004. I think we agree the past is over. And I do think that's true. I also said reading is the basics for all learning. And I think that's, I got a lot of criticism for my words, but, try and disprove that. It's hard to do. I've been in the Bible every day since I've been the president. Now, that's one of those things, I don't know why I said that. But I like to think of myself sometimes as like a superhero who flies in and saves everything. But, turns out I'm the opposite of that guy. You teach a child to read, and he or her will be able to pass a literacy test. Now, sometimes, here's what it is. Sometimes there's demons in my mind, and sometimes they grab at the word I wanted to say, and then some other word comes out. I can't help it. It's just the way I am. First, let me make it clear, poor people aren't necessarily killers. Again, I think that's true. But what I learned is after I said that, one of my advisors said, Mr. President, that is true, but by saying it out loud, it makes you kind of a scary person. And I understand that now. I wish I would have learned these things while I was in office. They want the government controlling Social Security like it's some sort of federal program. That's one of the things I learned about my presidency. In hindsight, it was probably not a good idea to take a constitutional law class from Michelle Bachmann. Now I know. One of the most important things about history is remember the true history. And what I like about the true history is I get to decide what is the true history. Because I said, and so the fact that they purchased the machine meant somebody had to make the machine. And when somebody makes a machine, means there's more jobs at the machine-making place. Now that might not make sense to some people. But when you have demons in your mind, and they're stabbing at words, they have pitchforks and they're stabbing, and you're trying to say words and it gets all clogged up, and you just end up saying machine a few times. It makes speaking difficult. The best place for facts to be done is by somebody who's spending time investigating it. Sometimes the demons let too many words come through instead of regulating. In this case, I'm for regulation. I could have just said, do research, but that comes out. I still can't believe to this day I got elected. But once I did. Well, let's keep it between us. The California crunch really is a result of not enough power generating plants and then not enough power to power the power generating plants. Now, it's the same demon at work. You can now see the pattern. Jeff Charlotte was talking earlier today about helping, the importance of helping the powerful. So that, help the powerful so that they help the weak. And I've always been a big believer in that, and I think I've practiced that. Because I believe that, eventually, if the powerful get big enough, they can trickle down on the weak. And I think we're seeing that at play right now. There needs to be a wholesale effort against racial profiling, which is illiterate children. Sometimes I wish the demons would stop. Because looking back, I should have just stopped. There needs to be a wholesale effort against racial profiling, period. I didn't even need to say which is illiterate children, because I don't even know what that means now. I hope everybody will vote for my brother. He's running for president. Hasn't been announced yet, but you're the first to know about it. He's running for vice president with Donald Trump. Because if there's one thing that my brother learned from my presidency, is that if you want absolute power, you got to be vice president. Thank you very much. I appreciate having me here. This is not three separate French words, by the way. I'm going to take some questions. Yeah, you have a question? Go to the microphone so everybody can hear. I'll be glad to answer anything honestly, because, let's face it, you can't put me in jail now. Yeah, we got a mic there? That's okay, yell it out.
Okay. Mr. President, I would like to know about the weapons of mass destruction and the fact that we are continuing the wars that you started. Can you give us any insight, please, sir?
The way I like to put it is, I dug us a gigantic hole. And I'm like the guy who goes, hey, everybody, come on down, look at it, this is a great hole. And you probably shouldn't have followed me down the hole. But again, it all comes down to hindsight. I think my life kind of like that Scorpion and the Frog story, I'm not going to change. Yeah.
I'm not talking about the 50,000 black people that weren't allowed to vote in Florida, and I'm certainly not going to talk about Nader stealing a few hundred votes. But I want to ask you, Congress, cut back on Secret Service protection. You only got 7 years left. What you going to do when you're free man?
Well, that's going to continue when I move to Dubai. Sir, it's called Halliburton protection.
Go where your friends are.
You got to go where your friends are. It's a great place, by the way. They sponsored me. Any other questions? I'd be glad to answer. All right, well, I appreciate it. Seriously, if there's any, you just yell out from your seat. I don't mind. Other ones we'll bring up later. And thank you very much. And, I wish I would have had a life where I could admit when I was president, because I owed you that. But I hope you keep fighting the good fight, because it was people like me that brought us back about 100 years in this country. So don't let me happen again. In other words, Sarah Palin.